Hello everybody, this is Becky Roesler and I have Becky's Junk Journals on Instagram and on YouTube, and today I'm going to show you how I make my flowers. I've been having a blast making these the last few days, and here's my favorite one. Isn't that sweet? I just love it. And I've got fabric and paper mixed together. This actually is some netting, and then there's some lace in there, and it's multiple layers. That's what the back looks like. That's what the front looks like. It's got a button in the center. Here's another one that I made with book pages and fabric. And just book pages and fabric. And here's another one that I made with a 3-inch doily, paper doily that I cut out, and it's got some crocheted lace in there and paper on that one. And there's the back. And let's look at this one. This is a little simpler. Fabric, fabric, paper, fabric, button, paper in the back. Anyway, every one you make comes out a little bit different depending on which piece you grab at the time. Fabric, fabric, paper. And that one's a little bit simpler, not as many layers, but cute as can be. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. First thing that I do when I make these flowers is I cut all my shapes out and gather up all my different parts that I think I might be able to use. And then I cut the shapes out. I happen to have 3 flower punches, and I use them, and I have to tell you, I'm going to open a Coke here. I have to tell you that I have arthritis real bad in my hands, and so it's getting harder and harder for me to use scissors to cut things out. I don't fussy cut very well anymore because of my hands, and my hands shake a little bit, so I'm sorry if it bothers anybody. I'll try to keep them as steady as I can while I'm going. I've got these 3 flower punches that I've used, and I've chose my color scheme. And the way I found easiest when I mass make flowers is to pick a color scheme and stick with it. So limit your kind of what the artists call a limited palette. Limit your palette to just a few colors, and you'll it'll be easier for you to do it. Then I've divided every little thing up into small pieces, medium-sized pieces, and larger pieces, and things I can use for leaves. So this is the smallest. These are things I'm going to use in the center. So I've got little things. I've got little lace pieces cut out that look good underneath these buttons. This right here is half of a child's barrette. I picked up a package for $1 at Dollar Tree of child's barrettes, and then I just cut the little flower end off, and those look so cute, and they're just the right size for a lot of them. I also use buttons a lot in the centers, and I also use my little tiny flower cutouts in some of the centers. And sometimes I layer the centers in multiple layers. I'll stack buttons on top of buttons, or paper flowers, on top of buttons, or, you know, whatever I want to do there. But I've got a little selection of things I can use in the center. Then I've got a little bit larger size buttons and paper cutouts, and even some little lace cutouts, and I'm going to show you how to make your little lace cutouts. But here's some things I thought I could use for the medium size. And then for the large, I've got larger flower cutouts that I've made, and that I've hand cut with just folding. And then I've got some large buttons I wanted to use, and I've got these I've made with my flower punch. And then the leaves I've cut out, and I'm going to show you how I cut out each shape by hand. The things that I didn't do with a flower punch, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Basically, there are 3 different shapes that I make when I cut things out. The leaf shape, the clover shape, the 4-petal shape, and then, see, you can use lace. It's not easy though. And then the larger pieces are like this shape. See, and when you cut the multi-petal shapes out, how much you round the edge is how you alter the shape. But basically they have the same extension, so you can make them real pointy like that, or you can make them more rounded like that. And if you'll notice, my flowers are not cut out precisely. They're not perfect, and the leaves aren't perfect. Nothing's perfect. And I'm fine with that. If it bothers you to do that, well, maybe this isn't to use things that aren't perfect. Well, maybe you should get yourself some flower punches, because these aren't going to come out exact, and it just depends on how you fold them. And folding the fabric is a little different. But here's what I'm using. I'm going to show you how I cut out each size. You start off with square paper or fabric for the flowers. And then depending on how you fold them is how they end out. For the leaves, I use strips. So I'll show you that. So there's several different ways that you can fold the paper to make it look like you want it. Most of the most of the ways you do it are the same. You know, they're pretty simple. So you're going to start off with the square paper or fabric. Fabric is harder for my hands to hold, but depending on the thickness of the fabric, you might find it easier. But I'm using a large square to show you how I'm doing this, because it's easier for my hands to hold. But when I make the flowers, I usually make them smaller because it's easier for me to have a smaller size flower to use in my junk journals. One thing about this type of flower is that you can use it in lots of different ways. You can use it on the cover of your journals, or you could use it for a decoration on when you're wrapping a gift. You can use it as decoration on curtains. I've seen people put them on curtains. You could make them out of flowers and then put them on the curtains, or on gift cards, any number of ways that you want to work them. So use your imagination. So you start off with a square. Mine aren't perfectly square, and I don't worry about that, because after you fold it and everything, makes a difference. It won't make much of a difference. And everyone's going to come out looking different anyway. First thing, you take the square and you fold it in half. Then you fold it in half again. Okay. Fold your square in half, fold it in half again. Then, if you notice, this side right here is the folded side. Down here, the side, it's the side that has got two folds, and this is fold. And when you make the flowers, you always want to hold it that way with the cut side on the top. Now, I'm going to take this with fold to fold, and I'm going to make a triangle. And you can use the bone folder if you want to get it really flat, but I don't find it necessary. Besides, I don't like the creases to stand out that much once I cut them. Okay, what it makes is a little ice cream cone shape. Once you fold over in half again, and then fold into a triangle, fold to fold. Cut side is at the top, single fold is on your right, double fold is at the bottom, and it goes flying. All right, since I'm using paper, I'm using my beat up paper scissors, and then I'm going to show you how I cut these things. To make a rounded, I'm starting down here, and I'm cutting along the edge, and I'm trying to round it, but I'm having trouble because of my arthritis. And then I turn it upside down to go to the down. You come out with something like that. It's not perfect. It's all kind of lopsided a little bit, but you know what? It's good. If my hands weren't as shaky, it'd be a lot smoother cutting. Or if my scissors were sharper. I'm using my old beat up glue infested scissors. And when you open it up, that's what you got. I think that's pretty cool. And I'm using this black and gold paper, so it's easier for you to see against the white. But it's not perfectly round, but it is a great... Besides, when you go and stack these things on top of each other, you're not going to see any imperfections in your cutting. In fact, when you're using fabric, your edges are going to be a little frayed, and that's fine. You know, it's not important to be perfect in all things. Let's call it perfectly imperfect. Okay? So, I'm going to show you again. And this time, I'm going to show you a different way. But we're going to get the similar results. Okay. You always start. Fold it in half. I did it wrong. Okay, I'll just make another one like this so you can see again. Fold it in half, fold it in half, single folds on that side, double folds at the bottom, make a triangle, fold to fold. Single folds on that side, double folds on the bottom, cut sides on the top, got a little ice cream cone. Let's make a pointy one this time. I'm going to start way down low. And I'm going to go, boop. That's a point. I'm going to turn it over because it's easier for me to do it this way. Then I'm going to start at that point and go all the way down. And come open, hands. Work for me just a little while longer. Yay! And then you got a pointy one. Okay, now we'll do the different way. Now, I folded these the exact same way, and just how I cut them came out a little bit different. Now we're going to do another way to fold them and cut them. You're going to do triangles. You're going to start off with a triangle. Then you're going to go fold to fold, another triangle. Then you're going to go fold to fold again. And you've got an ice cream cone. Single folds on that side, double folds or multiple folds on this side, cut side on the top. So that's how it looks. Now you cut it the same way. I'm trying my best to do rounded. And let's see if I can come back on this side and round it just a little bit more to trim it up. And that's how it ended up. Then we open it up and look, it's little hearts. And they're, I didn't cut this one as deep as I cut this one. That's the only difference. So, the triangle, you can do say with all triangles, you can do 2 fold in halves and then 1 triangle, or you can do 3 or 4 triangles. And by the way, if your hands are strong enough, you can do even more triangles. Okay, let's do one more. And I'll use this pretty pink color here. Let's do another triangle. Triangle. This one's not exactly square. So I'm just going to line it up on one side. Uh-oh. Now, if I like, what I can do is trim it off right there to make it more uniform. But if I didn't, it wouldn't really matter because that was all going to be at the top cut edge, and that's going to be cut off anyway. So as long as one side's lined up, that's all that matters. Then you got your ice cream cone. Okay, like that. I kind of like them rounded the best. See how that one came out. Okay, you got the 3 triangle fold, that's what these 2 were, and you've got the 2 fold in halves in 1 triangle, and that's what these 2 were. Not much difference, if any. They all look about the same. It just, I find it easier to fold them in half than it is to fold into a triangle with my hands. So I spent all day yesterday making these flower shapes. So this is how you make your flower shapes. The size of your square determines the size that you're going to get. Now the other shape that I make is with I can't think what I'm doing. I can't do 2 things at one time. Yeah. All right, let's get these out of the way. We've got these shapes that we can use on a great big flower, maybe for a gift wrap or whatever. And then I'm going to show you how I do the leaves. And you can use ribbon or any kind of fabric, lace, sheer. I've made them with this sheer, whatever this is, voile. Is that what that is? I don't know. I've made it with cut out from a table runner, old crochet looking lace table runner. Just anything you've got. I've even made it with this netting. See that netting? I made them with that, and you'll see those in some of the flowers that I've already made. Okay, to get these shapes, if you want a leaf shape, I fold the paper in the strip of paper in half, whatever size I've got, and then I fold it into a third, and then I fold it up that way. Then you take your last fold, the one right here, and you start at the bottom, and you cut, and you go over here, and you cut, and I'm cutting all the way down to the fold on this one. And here's a leaf shape, and a leaf shape. And if I had folded them more regularly, I wouldn't end up with a square on the end, but you know what? I can fix that just by trimming off the edge a little bit. Okay, no mistakes in crafting. You can always make something else out of it. Fold it in half, smaller, down smaller, fold at the bottom, I can't stand it. You got to get up there. Little tip. All right. So to make the leaf shape, you fold a longer strip in half, then fold it the length you want, like that, then fold it up like that. Now I turn it over so this side's there so I can see what I'm doing. And then it looks like that. This one came out right. Then come up. Okay, got it? Let's put some together. This is the fun. Now to the fun part. Okay, to save time, I have gathered some piles together of things that I want to use. Probably one of the most fun things is figuring out what you want to do. Okay, you can make them simple or as fancy as you want. And when I'm making these in mass, I have a bunch of piles of things that go together to my eye, all ready to make. And what I do is I start the bottom with a cardstock. It's important that you have something that's a little bit sturdier. It makes it easier when you have it all together to be able to glue it down. So I start off with some kind of cardstock. It doesn't have to be a color, and it doesn't have to be round because you're not going to see it. But it has to be smaller than your largest item. Then I use two different kinds of glues. I use art glitter glue, this one, for paper to paper. And any time I have fabric involved in it, I'm going to use fabri-tac. And on this one, I have decided that I'm going to use these different shapes. To make my flower. And since I have fabric is my largest one, I'm going to use fabri-tac, and I'm going to glop me some fabri-tac in the center of that cardstock piece and just plop her down. Try to center it a little bit. Makes it easier as you go. And then the next one is more fabric, and this is lace. I'm going to do it right on top of that one. And I'm going to try to make sure that my shapes are kind of come out in between as much as I can. Not be exactly lined up with the first one. Okay? Then I'm going to take the next piece, and since that's lace, it comes up easy, so I'm going to just put this a little bit of glue in the center, and then I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to try to get it centered as best I can. And that's what it looks like. Oh, you know what I did? I forgot the leaf shapes. I usually put the leaf shapes on first, but that's okay. We can do the leaf shapes right now. I don't have to use this glue. I could use paper, but since I'm doing leaf shapes, I'm going to do it down like that. And then I'm going to make it crossways like this. So little tips of the leaf shape will show through. And normally I would wait for that to dry a little bit. But I'm not going to because of time. Okay, now we got our leaf shapes sticking out, a little bit of that green. Then we're going to put some more glue right in the center, fabric glue, and dot another one. Oh, look, I'm altering the colors: lighter blue, darker blue, lighter blue, darker blue. Then I'm getting to my center, what I want in the center, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in the middle. And you do it right in the middle because it leaves your leaves. Your petals can come up, and on paper you can bend them up a little bit and make it stand up. Okay, I'm going to turn that one around so it's crossways to the first one. And I've got that. It's starting to get cute, isn't it? Okay, and then I'm going to take my fabri-tac glue, and I'm going to pop a button on there, and she will be done. Oop, that glue is stringy. Now, it will take a few minutes for all that to dry. And all you have to do is just set it aside and go on to the next one. Okay, let's push that one aside and do this one. Do we have our pieces all together here? Yep. I'm going to grab a little round thing. I have a bunch of these die cuts that I've had for years, and I want to use them up. So let's start with the leaves this time. I'm going to put the leaves on in an X shape. Oops, not like that. Get that glue off there. Then there's where you start. At your base with your leaves glued on. It's cute already. I like it. Then I'm going to take a brightly colored fabric and I'm going to put it on the glue on the fabric and pop her down in the center. Love that color combination. Next thing I'm going to do, and I'm putting the glue right on top of the other fabric, is because this would be hard to put glue on. I'm going to pop this down. And I'm trying to stagger my petals out so that it'll be fluttery around the side. And then I've got this piece of paper. Go down. Then I've got another lace and I'm staggering fabric, paper, fabric. Oh, I didn't show you how I did the tiny ones. I want to show you what I do when it gets so small that my hands have a hard time doing it. I'll show you how to do a small one because I just can't fold them that tiny. Did that one upside down, but it does not matter. Then I'm going to put some glue in the center. Pop down a button. You can make these as many layers as you like. Cover that glue up for a second. You can make these as many layers as you like or as few. Just whatever floats your boat. See? It's cute. And I like the extra texture of having the lace put in there. It's not real noticeable when it's smaller, but if it wasn't there, it looks very plain. Okay, let's do a fancy one. Those are not all that fancy. So let's do a really fancy one. This one, I can use a big piece of cardstock. And here's paper I cut out, a book page paper. Right in the center. Flop it down. Check the back, get it centered. I'm going to do my leaves that I forgot. I keep forgetting them, but it doesn't really matter. Because they just peek out a little bit from the back. But it's just enough to make a difference. See? Just enough to make a difference. All right. This one I'm doing in beige black, kind of a brown, and a teal color. Layer, layer, layer. Oh, I didn't show you how to do this four corner one either. I'm neglectful. I'm going to have to show you how to do this shape. Because it is a real handy way to shape to show. Let's do it right now before I forget. Okay. You fold it the same way as you folded all the others. And you fold it in half. Then it's easier for me to fold it in half twice instead of doing 3 triangles. and your triangle. You got your ice cream shape. Your single fold is on that side. Your multiple fold is down there, and that is on top. You grab your scissors and you just cut it different. You start over here, you go wide, and then you go like this, and you go like that. Cut it out like that. And guess what you're going to get? You're going to get like a four-clover shape. Isn't that nice? These make great. I like to do these. Sometimes I could have done this for the bottom one if I wanted to. So did you get that? You fold it in half like that. Then you fold it in half again. Then you fold it into a triangle. Your I'm upside down. There I am. Okay, the single fold was on this side. Multiple folds was down here, but I cut them off. Then I turned it over and I cut like that. I held the fold there. And you know, you just have to play with these and see what works best for you. Let's do another one so you'll see that. Fold it in half, fold it in half, fold it up there again. Single folds on that side, multiple folds is on this side, the top, and you cut that way. Oops, didn't cut down low enough. There. I like that shape. Okay, let's get back to gluing. Let's see, I was going to show you how I did the really small ones. When I have something that is just like a tiny little square and I want to make a tiny little flower, this is what I do. I fold it in half once. My fold is at the top. Give it a V-shaped cutout like that. Then open it up, fold it in half the other way like that. And then give it a V-shaped cut that way, and you're done. That is what I do with the smaller ones. I guess you could do it with the bigger ones too, but when I'm doing, that's how I cut out these shapes. I used lace, and when the lace is, can't see that. The lace is harder to cut out, and sometimes some of your fabric is too slippery. Like that voile fabric is very slippery. So if you want to make a small shape and you're having a hard time holding it, do the fold in half once in V clip, open it up, refold it, and do a V clip. So that's how you do it without having to fold it all those only one time. All right. Am I ever going to finish this one? Let's see. This one I'm altering book pages with pattern paper. Oops, we forgot one. getting toward the center, I'm adding a little bit of that lace. Get back on there. You know you're not supposed to do that. Behave. You're on TV. Come on. Okay. Then you got that one with glue all over me now. On top of that, then we have this. And I could have kept a lace for the very top. In fact, I probably should have, but I didn't. Then you have that one all done. That's a nice color combination. So we've done 3. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Here we got this big one. Grabbed myself this one is, I'm going to just start off this way. So this one, I'm going to start off with this one I cut out with a 3 or 4 inch doily. Then I'm going to, and I could put a piece of cardstock on the back, but I just didn't happen to have one cut out the shape I wanted at the time. So that's okay. You just do it anyway. This one, because you've got paper to paper, it's going to, the leaves are going to, the petals are going to fold up real nice. Then I wanted to use this great big button. It's a cool button, I thought. So why not? Why not pop that down right there? Do something really, really different. I did white, black, black and white, pink, and then a button with black, white, and pink in it. The last one I have is a blue one that we can do. I'm going to start off this one with a smaller dot. And I'm going to throw this one together real fast. Get glue on your fingers, it starts to really stick. Fabric, paper, strings of glue. Let's see what I did there. I did blue and white checked, dark blue, and then it was a blue and white plaid shape. Then I'm going to do a little smaller center to bring out that dark blue. And I nope, I wasn't going to do that. That was just a leftover. Then I've got this little button. There we go. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. If you don't know where the comment section is, it's on the right hand side, way down, and you have to scroll way down past everybody else's pictures to get to the place to add a comment. If you have any ideas or want to know more about this, or more things like this, you can subscribe to me. Hit the subscribe button so you'll know. You'll see my next ones that come out. I try to put them out once a week. Most of them aren't as full of information as this one is, but let me know what you think, and subscribe to me. And if you would hit the thumbs up button, it makes me happy, and it helps me know that you like this and to make more of them like this. I'm at Becky's Junk Journals, and I hope you're having a wonderful day today, having fun.